Welcome back, everybody, to Sanity Lost, the podcast that we haven't seen each other in about a half a month, so we don't remember what's happening. Hi, how you doing? How's everyone doing?
Who are you?
Nice to meet you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, we took such a long break. We're starting season 3. We're just skipping season 2.
Oh no, we actually
didn't-
recorded
doing
season
that
2 of the
thing
off
where we
hours.
forget the old story and just start a new.
I did not agree to this. Let me just say.
That's pretty
Let's
common
do it
in the
now.
podcast horror world, right? They start a track, and when they get stuck, they just start a new story.
Look, everyone that likes season 1 of most things, they're like, oh man, season 2, I wasn't a fan of it, but season 3, I really liked it, so we'll just skip season 2 and go right to season 3.
I actually like that idea. I think that's a fabulous plan.
Yeah. It also helps that I have, like, because we haven't actually had a real conversation if we want to do a season 2.
I know.
Which we probably should at some point. But I have like 3 ideas. And we'll see.
Are you gonna list them all out right now? Is this the
Hey,
thing
you weren't
that you wanted
expecting
to
to
talk
hear
about?
them, were you?
No, I wasn't going to tell you guys them.
Uh-huh.
I will say, I'm not going to share a whole lot, but the game I'm making, the TTRPG stuff, I think this is like the 4th rendition. I think John and Elizabeth only played the second.
We played 2 versions.
The second edition. There was 2 versions?
Mm-hmm. We've played 2.
Oh.
I don't know if it was the
Yes.
first and second or the second and third, but we
I think
played
that was
2.
the second. I think that was the second, and then like 2.5,
Okay.
and then, and now I like pretty much took all that information and was like thinking more about it. And I'm like, okay, and then the 3rd rendition of it, I was just sitting there, just imagining, like, okay, and then like I kind of got stuck, and then I'm like, I had to like really sit down. I'm like, okay, I need to answer some questions, specifically, like, what kind of game do I want to make? It's like, do I want to make like a
4 versions in. These are key questions.
well, originally it was supposed to be like more one-shot kind of stuff, but I wasn't enjoying the process of that. And so I'm like, do I want to keep making one-shot, like, or there could be like campaigns or whatever done with it, but it's more just like a one-shot thing. Or do I want to make it focused on a bigger storytelling thing, but still have the option for one-shots in there? And I'm like, okay, that I want to do the bigger one, so I like telling a bigger story.
Yeah.
I like how the concept of how character creation and leveling up works now.
You didn't like
Pretty
it
much.
before?
Before, I never really had a leveling up
Yeah.
idea.
Okay.
But now I do. I know Nite's heard it. I'm specifically not sharing this one on like definite things on live streams or recordings. Like, I'm talking about it in generality. Like, if you guys are interested, I can give a quick overview in between recordings. But
Sure. I mean, you
it's,
definitely don't want to lock yourself into anything that someone can look back on, for sure.
I've done that before.
Uh-huh.
But now this one, I'm like, okay, and this is the first time I had like an actual roadmap of what I wanted to have done.
Okay.
So yeah, but there's some things, specifically tracking health and leveling up are quite. If they're in other TTRPGs, I haven't seen them, which doesn't. I haven't seen every TTRPG, but I think it fits a little bit more realistically.
Okay.
Like, so that's all I'll say about that. But what I do want to, my actual.
I was going to say,
topic
I don't know
was-
that was what you came with.
No, because we all were on a couple. Well, not all. Some of us were on vacations for the past couple weeks. I watched 3 movies in the past 2 weeks.
Wow.
And they weren't for. They weren't
I was going
for
to say,
my
that's
other
impressive.
show.
Was it just for fun?
2 were on vacation. I guess they all were fun. So yeah, 2 were on vacation. The 3rd one was with the girlfriend. So
Nice.
Yeah, I watched, let's see, Glass Onion, which
Sorry.
is the sequel to Knives Out.
I was gonna say that
Oh,
sounds
right.
so familiar,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that one. Okay.
It's on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Yes,
Okay.
it's on Netflix. I thought it was good.
I enjoyed
but
it.
I like the first one better.
Knives Out.
Personally. Yeah, I like Knives Out better than Glass Onion. Glass Onion's still fun, but there's the way they do the storytelling, it reveals reveals everything.
Mm-hmm.
But without that thing where that like kind of twist, like you just can't sit there without like a blind guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
And be like, oh, this is the answer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I felt like in Knives Out, you could intake the information, and there was still stuff that came. It wasn't like, oh, here's a new piece of information. It's like, no, we literally could not figure out this without this whole huge chunk, and it works for the movie, but it wasn't my favorite kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like trying to figure out the mystery alongside.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
So, but anyway, it was still a good movie. And then the next two movies kind of go together.
Okay.
I watched Godzilla -1.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, as I've been calling PTSD the movie. It is really good. Who's here seen it?
I'm trying to think if I remember
Did
if
I
I've
see that
watched
one?
this one.
Yeah, that was the one we went in the theater, the black and white one. We saw in the theater.
Okay.
It's all black and
Had
white?
a very depressing ending.
That
Yeah,
was like a
yeah.
redone. Like that was a later version. The original takes place in Japan right after World War II.
Yeah.
Is it? It starts with the. I'm trying to think. One of the Godzilla ones I saw relatively recently had, at the very beginning, a kamikaze pilot that
Yes.
didn't actually
Yes.
that
was-
basically
yep.
aborted in.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was it.
That is exactly that movie. Yeah.
Oh no!
So-
Spoilers for the first 5 minutes of it.
Oh no, I wasn't like. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure if you go and look at reviews, it will tell you that. But no, it was really good. As I think I was telling people on stream, like I like that kind of Godzilla movie where it's just, I feel like there's a lot more of the Japanese or like the older films where it's just like there's so much focus, and it's even with the 2016 Godzilla movie. I feel like there's so much focus on the humans, while there's just this giant threat just going down that nobody can do anything with. And that is a very angry Godzilla. So, but no, I thought it was neat, like how they were trying to figure out how they can, like, I don't know, I feel like so nowadays there's just like, well, we can nuke the thing, and it's just like,
Yeah.
that's not an option.
Yeah.
And especially in post World War II Japan, I think that's the furthest thing in their of wanting to play with. So, but yes, it was just so good. But then alongside that, I also, with my girlfriend, we watched Godzilla and Kong, the buddy cop movie, New Empire.
Is that the newest one?
The newest one.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I haven't seen. Let's see. I haven't seen I watched the 2016 Godzilla movie, but I haven't seen Skull Island, Godzilla King of Monsters, or Godzilla vs. Kong.
Gotcha.
So we skipped right to that one. I'm like, pretty sure there's people in this movie that were introduced in the earlier things that I have no clue who they are.
Yeah, but that really doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, that movie was, for audio people listening. for our audio listeners, Elizabeth just came back, and we switched to the last movie, which is Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire.
Mm-hmm. Did I see that one?
No.
I cannot
that was the
keep
one
the
I wanted,
Godzilla movie straight.
That was
yeah.
the one I wanted to go see with Maddie, and like we didn't.
Oh, you never got to go? Okay.
Yeah. So I still have not seen that.
Okay.
It's not really like a spoiler. It just cracks me up so much because there's just like, it feels like there's 3 storylines. One is Kong walking around discovering stuff, the humans trying to be like, what the heck is going on? And then there's Godzilla's just like, what the dump, and just destroying things until they're like, okay, you need to come help now. No. I'm pissed. And so, but it's compared that to Godzilla -1, it's just, you have super angry rage Godzilla, and then in what was it, Godzilla and Kong, it's just like, yeah, I'm angry, but it's very much, it feels like a buddy cop movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's much more like action-y, like it's a different vibe for sure.
Yeah, it was still good.
Yeah, I feel like they're kind of like 2 sides of the same coin. Like, -1 is certainly more the classical kind of take on Godzilla, and then like the modern American movies have like moved into this action-y thing, but like they're still fun. Like, they're not kind of stupid the way the like Godzilla 2000 movie was, but like they're having more fun with it than taking it super seriously.
Yeah, that Godzilla, I think it's from, I kept saying 2000, it's actually from 1998. There's a movie called
early?
Godzilla. Yeah, there is a Godzilla 2000 from Japan.
Okay.
But Godzilla in 1998, that one showed up in one of the Godzilla movies from Japan, and they're like, the Americans say they had a Godzilla, and they're like, they say that. Just totally like, that's not Godzilla.
Yeah, it's not good.
So,
It's amazing how many Godzilla movies there are.
there's 30.
Really?
Yes.
You counted them
many.
all?
We were talking about it on Sunday on my cooking stream.
Oh, okay.
There's
Okay. I
so
was like,
many.
wow, you knew that so fast.
Right?
Yeah. I want to get them. I want to get them all. I want to watch them all.
Pokezilla,
That's how we'll...
gotta catch it. Pokezilla, gotta catch them all.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking too.
There probably is a Pokemon that's literally just Godzilla. I don't know enough about Pokemon. It reminds me of a meme I saw where they're just like, my parents selling Pokemon, and it's just all the different ones, and they're all called Pikachu. But yeah, and then we'll slowly transfer this into a Godzilla fan cast, and we'll just talk about Godzilla all the time.
Well,
So
I might be
yeah,
out
so
of that one.
so yeah, in the middle of Penn State, the ground cracks open and Clownzilla appears.
Clownzilla. Oh boy.
I'm gonna honk you.
That's okay. We'll get the football team to take care of it. Oh wait, they don't exist.
They don't exist. You know what? I haven't checked how that's done.
What?
Because I came out this week, and I'm like, I
Oh.
haven't.
To see if
Not
anyone
yesterday.
freaked out.
Yeah. I doubt anyone did, but
I also
Let's
doubt
see.
that.
I think I did hashtag Penn State. Oh yeah.
You know, you're just asking for trouble.
What are they gonna do? Listen to the episode?
Maybe.
I'll take it. I lost the Penn State map. There it is. How funny it would be if that's what is the outcome of this podcast. I get a phone call from Penn State, and we're like, no, we do have a football team.
Liars!
That would be wild. That would be absolutely wild.
And then I start my sport casting, like Snoop Dogg in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about the Olympics next episode, because right now, boom. That's right. I don't know if you guys can hear that music. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's there.
And so, 8 years ago, when we had our last session, which was the first part of Chapter 9, we met 3 college students. And by 3, I mean 2. Actually, we met a whole bunch of them.
I was gonna say, we have a whole, like, party. We have a whole horror movie.
And I'm like...
I mean, we do.
And now I'm completely forgetting where I wrote that all down.
Yeah, I just realized I didn't grab my notebook, which makes me very sad because I have
Oh,
all
no.
of that written down.
Well, our group for the project is Lance, Ashley, Dawson Roberts is the druggie,
Yeah, the druggie.
and Sadie Simmons is our nerd.
Yeah.
I found it.
Dawson and Sadie.
Oh, wait, never mind. That's Charity Palooza names. Oh, by the
So
way,
Dawson and Sadie, and then what was our topic night?
Cutter's Cabin.
Cutter's Cabin,
Cutter's
right? Okay.
Cabin. I did remember that.
And we needed to go to the library.
Yes, you guys are in the library. Everyone is in the library.
Were we? We
I
were
think-
in the classroom.
We were in the classroom. I don't think we'd actually left the classroom.
Moved.
I think
Yeah.
we were trying to. The professor, I think Professor gave us a hint of some library book or something that might have information.
Yeah. I'm looking through.
But then we had cut to Percy
Yeah.
being dragged towards the library. I think was dragged by his demons. I think is.
What you said. Oh,
Well,
that's right.
I mean,
Percy
that's-
was going to. Yeah, Percy was going
Percy's-
to the library.
Percy's at the
Yep.
library. I knew Percy was at the library. Unless you guys are planning on doing anything different.
Nope.
Not you. You're already at the library. Pretty much the students.
We're heading there now.
Yep. I'm like, oh, there we go. I found it.
Well, I have to just
I'm
say,
sorry.
Ashley is very upset about this because
Yes. So now that I've found the names of everybody, so we have, well, at least the NPCs. Oh shoot, I didn't change the names for the video version. Hey guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll make sure to change that before the end of the chapter, like I forgot to do for John's character. For one of the chapters.
so
it
it's
was like-
still all of our old.
At least for the first episode.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so let's see. So yes, Mr. whatever his name was, Pittman. I have like notes on like 8 different formats, and I'm just like,
We're doing
where are
really
they
good
all?
tonight, yeah.
Yes, so Professor Pittman gave them everyone in his class the theory of local legends, and the pretty much hand-picked everybody's group. While this was all going on, Elizabeth's character, Ashley Simmons, was going on about how she wanted to be on her... I don't know if they're actually dating or if
No,
it's...
she's just really trying to catch his
her-
attention and like.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
I did too, because I don't have my notebook. Hold on. Actually, I have him written. No. He's in my backstory. Hold on. I'm pretty sure he's in my
I'm
backstory.
going to call him
Just some.
Adam.
Jeffy Dahmer.
Adam Cooper.
I mean,
And Amber was
there's-
my best friend that you were having a very fun time playing. Just
Yes.
saying.
there's not a football team anyway, so I mean, you might as well pick a real sports player.
Wow.
That's what I remember from the first episode. But anyway,
Wow.
so anyway, Ashley was very excited to have some eye candy while someone else did the work. But the powers that be, aka Pittman, set everyone up, and yes, I clicked away. There it is. Ashley now has to work with Nite's character, Lance Lenti. Your last name sounds like a pasta, or is that another? Is that another season in another?
It is
language?
in a different language.
Yeah, that's what.
Dutch,
I
if I
figured.
remember right.
But yes, Lance Lente. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but not my problem.
I will too, so it's fine.
Yes. Yeah, so they are teamed up with Dawson Roberts and Sadie Simmons. Ashley and Sadie do not have any relation, but pure hate from one side. Why?
Just
I don't think we ever
judgment,
found
not
out.
hatred. Like judgment with a
it's all
little
hate.
disgust.
It's pure
No,
hate.
no.
Just like Elizabeth in real life when she looks at me. She's like, I hate you.
Only after 9:30.
True.
Yes. So before Ashley turned away, she looked at Amber's like, as Amber is in the same group as Adam, and she's like, pretty much something along the lines like, "Oh man, well look after me." She's like, "I will, girl," or something along the lines of that. I don't know. I'm gonna miss that character. That's my favorite voice.
You just gotta keep bringing her back.
Yeah.
Those two are totally going to end
She's-
up hooking up and leaving.
she's
Ashley
gonna
out.
And I'm
into
gonna
Theodore.
it's gonna be over. It's just gonna be
Could
over.
you imagine if Theodore was like, "Hello, first. I'm weird." But yes, totally just everybody in that group not having a fun time with who they're forced to be with for this class. And I think I said it was some absurd amount of percentage of their grade. Pittman gives them the local legend of Cutter's Cabin and says, hey, you should find some books on that or send Trillia in the library to find out. Oh, while that's happening, I think I said the Patino or Pate, I don't know how to pronounce any of these things. One of the libraries in Penn State. While at the same time, or earlier, I don't know, time is an illusion depending on who you talk to, Percy is walking through Penn State wondering where the football team is that he heard so much not about.
Yeah, very clearly interested in
But has been led to by like an unseen will or force or just understanding to head to the library. And that's where we're gonna pick up with with our college students here. So are you guys heading right to the library, or are you guys doing something else? Or
Ashley's gonna very much try to get out of this. So she's like, I'm assuming we've been like talking about it, and so she like kind of slings her bag over her shoulder, and she's like, all right, well, it sounds like you guys have got this, so I'm just gonna go.
Look, I'm here to work on this project. I don't need this screwing up my grade for scholarships and stuff. You're gonna tag along. You're gonna at least put in your effort here. You can at least tag along to the library.
Listen, this is not how this is working. You don't get to boss me around, Mr. Hockey player. Is that what you do?
Yeah, and I think we can. Neither one of us are necessarily the smartest tools in the shed here, but we're gonna put in our effort here.
You take that back. Right now. Or I'm out.
I saw what you were looking at. Come on, you and I both know why you're here. Now let's go to the library.
it's me, right?
Dawson, shut
Says
up.
Dawson. Okay, wasn't sure if that was obvious. That was my voice because I couldn't remember it from 3 weeks ago. But hey,
It was obvious enough.
good. I'm smart, right, Sadie? Hands up. She doesn't put her hands up.
So Ashley checks her watch and she's like, listen, I've got half an hour and then I have to meet someone to go to get my nails done and I'm not missing that. So let's make this quick. And she like turns around and starts walking out of the classroom.
And Lance is like,
Dave.
well, 30 minutes is, I mean, it's not a lot, but it's a start for today. This is going to be a challenge. And we'll follow.
Wait, how did what's his face totally change from like being into her into like not at all in like 30 seconds? I think we ended your character.
Oh, Lance? No,
Yeah.
I think, I don't know if he was ever necessarily really into her more, because, I mean, she's obviously very much after the football player. And,
That's true.
I mean, Lance is a very good-looking jock. He's
What is your appearance score? Or
60?
whatever it is.
I mean, it's not as good looking
60?
as
Chip
the
Skip?
Okay,
Yes,
but
yeah,
you were
but-
less than me. I'm at a 75.
He's still a good-looking jock.
I know, but
Still lower than Skip.
I'm okay.
Right,
None of us
everybody's
are
lower
going
than
after
Skip.
Skip. He was a grown-ass man.
Even with all the like downgrades that you get to your
Appearance as you age.
appearance as you age, I'm pretty sure Skip still outclasses you. What was he, like a
Probably.
95 in his prime?
I
Probably.
think
Yeah.
that was the stat dump for Skip.
All into appearance.
I like Skip.
But
I liked him because it made Elizabeth so mad.
All right, so we're headed to the library, I guess.
Yep. Alright, so you guys head into the library, and for any people that have gone to Penn State, I have no clue how this library actually looks. So you guys go in, you see the help desk, or like the checkout desk, and maybe this like older woman is just like, kind of gives you like, just like nod, and just like, and kind of goes back to her work. And let's do my favorite check that we don't get to do enough of, except for John. Don't worry, John. We'll let you play more than like the last 10 minutes.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's gonna.
I know
Percy's
that's
just gonna
your
like
favorite.
stand around like creepily in a corner. Like it's gonna be his vibe.
Why is the lights out in there and I can hear breathing?
He's gonna be like the weirdo that comes up to a conversation and just like hovers wide-eyed and.
we just need to get. I mean, really, we need to get Percy on this team anyway, so we have like the insider information. But
Yeah, but you guys don't even know Percy exists.
oh, I know.
But anyway, I need a library check.
A library check. Ooh, okay.
Is this all of us or just those two?
Just them.
Okay.
That is
Don't
a.
worry.
I actually
Oh,
have
okay.
points in library. Not many, because we're,
Yeah.
starting off. But I actually have library.
Alright.
Mine
I
was
did
a.
not pass that, however.
I rolled a 41 over 40 and used one luck to make that a 40.
Speaking about luck, did you guys roll your luck at the beginning?
No.
I did, but I did not gain.
I can, so I failed that, FYI.
Your roll, your luck.
Yes.
My roll. I mean, maybe. I need to roll for luck, too.
Alright. And so you pass it. Sadie, she also passed her roll. Dawson probably, we'll just say that he's just like, Ashley, guess what, man? I got the good stuff. And just like is doing enter drug goofiness here.
And Ashley's just like rolling her eyes, and like just that's why she failed. She's not actually trying. She's just standing there.
Yeah, and it's like while Dawson goes on like that, he's one of the librarians comes up and just like, shh, you're being too loud. Sorry, miss. But anyway, all that's going on. Yeah, you guys pass, and then you find maybe a part. You find the section that Pittman was talking about. Both Lance and Sadie, you guys find it, and then you find a handful of books on Centralia, because he did tell you that this event took place in Centralia, and you find a book Let's see. Like after a little while, like I'm gonna say this is like 20 minutes in, Sadie finds a book by Skip Thompson.
Ooh.
Of titled The Mysteries of Centralia. Now this isn't, I will say this is not something John said, but I feel like the way we kind of closed out Skip's story, and well, I guess technically he's not officially dead or anything, but
I'm not dead yet.
Ever since but after we kind of retired that character, it was kind of said that he was continuing his research and everything. So I don't think this is a widely published book, but there's in there, and Sadie finds it, and she's kind of flipping through it, and she's like, looks at all you guys like, this guy used to be a librarian for the school.
This school?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, see? And like she kind of holds up the like back of the book where it kind of talks about him, and you just see this like older gentleman that is way hotter than all these college kids.
So as soon as Sadie turns the book around and Ashley catches a glance of him, she like rips the book out of Sadie's hand and she's like, "Who is this?"
And it's yeah. So you see on there, it's like a brief like excerpt of it where it's just like I don't know what I don't know if he would be a professor, but I don't know, John, what do you think? Do you think he ever got his doctorate or stuff, or he's just like just gonna go by like librarian, or just Skip, or
I probably never got his doctorate. I don't think I ever saw him as much of like a school person, so it was probably more of like something that started out as a hobby, and then like the writing component, and then he like worked on it over time or whatever till like he could get something published. But he probably would still have like gone by just regular Skip.
Yeah. So like the little excerpt says just like Skip before becoming a librarian at Penn State lived in the small town of Centralia where he has claimed to have witnessed and experienced and discovered many esoteric just discoveries in there, and has even fought against even has tales against these things. In here is a collection of some of his notes and studies that he has released to the public, and and it's just you go in there and it's just like it's him sitting there, and then like I don't know if you turn to pretty much open up to the front page, Ashley, you see it's like dedicated to Old Man Poe.
Aww. Ashley like looks up from the book and she's like, "Does he still work here?"
I wonder if he's still around here. Maybe even if he doesn't work here, maybe we can find him and interview him. It sounds like he might know a lot about the town.
That would probably make our job a whole heck of a lot easier, because then we don't actually have to read these books. We can just get him to tell it to us. And I'll record it on my phone, and we can get my fancy app to like, turn it into a paper for us. Like, this would be great. Easy peasy. Come on. Where do we find this guy?
Quick question. Hey, John, when was Skip born? Because he might be like
dead.
If not in his 90s, he might be in his hundreds.
Yeah.
I mean, he was old in like a previous chapter, I think.
So he was.
He wasn't much older than. He was about the same age as Caleb and Cora, right?
Yeah,
I think he was right around there, and they were.
Last time I updated, he was 53, which would have been the sequence when
it would have been the 60s.
They fought the mayor.
Did you give him a birthday?
I don't think I have an actual date.
Caleb was born 1915.
Yeah. And you were in, like, their 90s. You're if he's still alive, he's in his hundreds.
I was gonna
But
say he's not alive.
You don't know that?
Well, what is the copyright on the book? Because like that will tell us, right? Like
it is copyright 2052.
Wow.
now we're jumping into
Roll
the
Sanity.
future.
Yeah, maybe if you ask that, but then like you kind of see like Sadie's face kind of go pale during all of it, like while you guys are like going on about this.
And Ashley looks over and she's like, "Are you okay? Please do not throw up. I cannot handle that. Just sit down. Just sit down. Here, here." And she's like starts like fanning her. She's like, "Do
like
not
Dawson's
throw up."
like, "Say, dog, I got something for that if you need it."
Dawson,
And she's like,
shut up.
You're
And
not
she's
helping,
like
Dawson.
fanning.
And like she kind of like wordlessly puts the book down and like points like at what she was reading, and you like at a quick glance you see like Cutter's Cabin, like kind of scrawled and like in the whatever that part, the top part of the book or whatever.
Oh, it's not part
top
of the
margin?
book. Like it's a note.
No, it's like it's kind of like it's telling you what the section is.
Oh, so it is an official part of the note
Yeah,
or the book.
it's
okay.
so like she like turned to the chapter, and that way it's just like if you scroll through it, if you flip through the book, it's I'm gonna say this book was probably written in the 90s because he was still a librarian by that point, and so
And
but
so
then-
as Ashley like sees that she found this, instead of being like concerned about why Sadie is upset, she's just like, "Oh my gosh, Sadie, nice work. Now we know exactly where we need to read." And she like takes the book out of her hands and she's like, "See, we can do this quick. We'll just flip through and pick out a few keywords and we'll be done."
So, Lance is going to kind of hearing that Skip had previously worked at the library and everything. He's just going to go talk to the librarian at the desk and say, "Hey, we just found this book that was written by this guy Skip Thompson. I think he used to work here. Do you know anything about him?"
I'm trying to remember that student that brought in when you guys called him. What was it? Oh, Skip Dog? Oh, yeah. Like, this is a different... This is not the old lady. This is, like, a younger... definitely younger guy who... He's probably in his 40s, and there's, like... I remember that man. Dude, he was the librarian when I was here. Really inspired me to get into library work. Skip Dog's pretty cool. Yeah, no, he retired... I want to say about 5-10 years ago, and... Yeah.
He worked
kinda went,
until his 95?
hey, I don't know I don't know. He could have.
Sometimes you just
you
need
think
a
about
hobby.
it-
You need a hobby.
Yeah, well, if you think
Ashley's
about
not
it,
actually
like
there.
the
She's just...
clo-
This is
his
Elizabeth.
closest friend. I know this is Elizabeth. But if you think of who Skip's closest friend was Old Man Poe, who probably
True.
worked until he couldn't walk anymore.
Yeah, that is true. That is
I
true.
mean,
So-
you got to have a hobby too. So I mean,
Yeah, and it's
It's
just
like-
we never really explored Skip's family or all that stuff, but they probably don't hold him too highly since his first time we met him, he kind of abandoned the military and like wasn't doing like he was trying to do his own thing until he kind of just went AWOL. So, but anyway, he's like, yeah, no, Skip Dog was pretty cool, man. But no, he pretty much he retired, and I heard that he went to kind of somewhere in Mount Carmel, and we kind of lost contact. I don't know. I could find out if you really need to talk to him.
I mean, if you can find out if he might still be around and maybe up for a chat with us, that'd be epic, dude.
I could see he's like, I don't know, man. He's kind of like in his probably hundreds at this point, so I don't know how much he still got there, but I don't know. I could find out.
I mean,
Come by tomorrow.
Old guy, he might be game for just a visit, just to for somebody to visit with him. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. So while that's conversation's going on, Ashley, are you...
I was going to say, Ashley is reading the chapter, or skimming
Okay.
through it, I guess, yeah.
And so you kind of get, as, like, your eyes catch it, like, are kind of skimming, like, your eyes catch on a paragraph where it's just, like, 5 kids went to Cutter's cabin back in the 1920s and was chased by some sort of creature that seemed to have appeared there. One of the students was brutally murdered to the point where she was cut up to a similar fashion to the axe that follows the murders from the Legends of Cutter's Cabin. And this is what, like, Sadie was kind of going white in the face about.
Yeah, so Ashley reads that and she's like, oh my gosh, what is this we're researching? This should not be allowed. This is not okay. This is not okay. And she, like, slams the book closed and, like, puts it on the table.
Yeah, and Dawson's like, what was it?
Some monster chopping kids with an axe? Like, what the heck? What is this? No.
And Lance, we can say you come back at this point as well. You see Ashley all in a huff. You're not sure if this is normal or...
I mean, if you walk into me saying, like, you could probably walk into me saying, like, you know, hearing the, like, monster chopping up kids.
Whoa, monster? What? I mean,
Yeah.
surely you don't believe that, right?
No.
Lance is gonna
But,
pick up the book and start leafing through it just to see what
okay,
Skip is
hold on. What did you find out about this guy? Because he's, I think, saying that this happened. Wait, what was this is Elizabeth again. What was the context of the book? Was he, like, writing this as, like, stories
it's a bunch
or,
of
like...
it's stories and legends that he has found within Centralia.
I see. So he's not saying
Like,
that he experienced this, just that he's writing about
some
it.
Some of them he has claimed that he has experienced. Like, it's pretty much his time in Centralia.
Yeah.
But there's stuff that he's, like, collected and, like, through his time there building up the trust. Because I'm pretty sure we said at some point Cora and Caleb probably told him about Cutter's Cabin.
Yeah, I think
about
so. Yeah,
Percy.
yeah.
I think they, as
All that.
much as closer friends as they ended up becoming through events in Centralia, I think that he, and kind of him proving himself in a lot of ways, I think Caleb definitely would have been like, yeah, you're basically one of us now. Like, yeah, here's some of this stuff, and
Which is why he's a little bit more willing to put up with Cora later in later years when he's like, she's who did what?
yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so you're doing all of that. Yeah, so while you're doing that, Percy, can you give me a listen roll?
Alright, that is a 32 over 20.
22 over 20. So, you don't hear the full conversation, but then all of a sudden you hear a voice, someone freaking out of murdered children, all that stuff, and a monster, and then, like, throughout that, like, just the bits and pieces, and then, like, through the thing, through like, the bookshelves, you see her slam this book on the desk, on the table before Lance gets back. And on there you see, like, the Legends of Centralia.
So Percy kind of, like, walks over and, like, just silently picks up the book and then starts flipping through it.
So you're taking it out of Lance's hands?
Well, I'm saying now, this
He
was
walks
happening,
over this-
like, Lance got back, and before, like, you went to go reach for it, and it's already in Percy's hands, and he's like, that's
Ashley, like,
kinda...
literally, like, jumps back and she's like, who are you and where did you come from? You look awful. Are you okay?
Percy completely ignores her and is just, like, flipping through the book.
Excuse me.
Lance is just going to reach out and pluck the book out of his hands. Like, we were using that book. Who are you?
Percy is just going to kind of, like, dead-eye stare at him for, like, a couple seconds longer than would be comfortable. And then is going to just, like, abruptly, like, turn around and, like, go back into the bookshelves.
Before he
Ashley, like, looks at Lance and she's like, what just happened?
Like, before Percy can wander too far, Lance is going to put a hand on his shoulder. Like, you came over here. Who are you? What do you want?
Percy's gonna stop for a second and, like, looks thoughtfully at Lance's hand.
Ashley's like, you should stop touching him now. You should stop touching him now.
And, like, at this point, Dawson's like, are you studying Cutter's Cabin too, man? Are you in a different class?
Percy, like, kind of, like, looks each one of them in the eyes uncomfortably.
Ashley does not make eye contact. No.
And then just utters curious. And then kind of, like, picks up Lance's hand off his shoulder, like, moves it to the side, drops it, and then, like, continues to walk back to the shelves.
Ashley's like, absolutely not. She, like, flips around and, like, goes over to the same librarian, and she's like, excuse me, there is someone in this library who I can guarantee you is not a student, and they are harassing us, and I need you to take care of the situation immediately. I feel unsafe.
Meanwhile, Lance is going to be following Percy, like, I'm talking to you? What's curious? And we'll physically stop Percy if he needs to.
What are you gonna do? Wrap your arms around him in a bear hug?
Because every time I touch, I get this feeling.
Remember, Percy has 90 strength.
He will break you.
That's new.
I was gonna say, what?
He always had 90 strength.
Oh,
he was
that's right.
super strong.
Because John just min-maxes his stupid Cthulhu characters on these, like,
that
weird
was a random
things.
roll. That was a totally random roll.
We'll break you in half.
I'm trying to think how I want to play this.
Here, I can give you a little something in there. The legend, there's right after Cutter's Cabin is the chapter, and you would have saw this while you were kind of flipping through and everything. But you saw briefly the Uncle Buster Road Circus, and there's a mention. Now you know this would be you, but it would say how one person was taken from the road circus. Right. Depends on how weird you want to be.
Yeah, no, I know. Percy's gonna look at Lance, and he's gonna do the uncomfortable direct eye contact thing, and he's gonna be, and he like again kind of thinks for a minute, and then says, What interests you in that book?
Well, we have a project in class to study this particular local legend, and do you at least have a name? Well, you look like you've been living pretty rough. Like, who are you?
I do, but that's not important right now. I would suggest you find another project. There's nothing down this path that is going to benefit you.
I mean, if I could, I might do that, but that's what the professor wants, so that's what the professor gets. Do you know something about this thing?
You could say that.
And I imagine about this time, Ashley is dragging this poor librarian over to wherever Percy and Lance are standing, and she's like, just look at him. He does not belong here.
And so the librarian, I always imagine him a little bit overweight, like a little, and a little stocking, just goes up and he's like, hey, sir, Mr. Man, are you allowed to be here? Do you have a pass for the college?
What is a pass?
See? He is not a student.
This is a library, isn't it? Aren't
Yes.
libraries for anyone?
Most time. Here, if you could come with me, we'll see if we can get you a pass to find out what's going on, or if you need help with something, or is there anything I can help you with since you're here?
I was not told to go with you. I was told to come to the library, and I'm here, so I should stay here.
Okay.
Ashley's like, unsafe. Unsafe.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, why don't you come wait with me up in the front of the library, and we see if we can find if we can see who you're supposed to meet, huh?
Where is the front of the library? Is it I don't know, how big is this library?
Well, according to the picture on the map, it's pretty big. I imagine you guys are kind of in the third floor, kind of just I don't know how many floors, but it's just you're in a back kind of area, a little bit more secluded, where there's a lot more of weird random stuff rather than your traditional stuff.
Can Percy do another Cthulhu Mythos check to see if he is getting any sort of further leading?
Yeah.
That is a 46 under 50.
Ooh.
All right. Yeah, so while this overweight librarian is talking and all that stuff, you hear Theodore's voice in your head, and kind of a memory or a future event or something. You're not very sure, but you just get the sense that these 4 kids are who they're connected with your mission.
Okay.
And you know what? Since you rolled that and it's Cthulhu Mythos, and I thought this might be fun, and I don't remember if we said it in the first episode, but Skip's character knows pretty much the whole show, all the events that we've seen up to this point. Even though
Percy.
he wasn't. Oh, yeah, did I say Skip? I meant Percy. So Percy has an understanding of pretty much everything that has happened up to the show, up to this point. He doesn't have first person interactions or anything, but he whether he was told or some sort of observation, he can't explain it, but he knows all the events. And so when you picked up the book, you saw Skip's name on there, and you remember somehow who Skip is.
Mm-hmm.
And that and then I don't know, the fact that this book is important to these students, you just do what you want with that.
Right. So Skip's gonna look at the library, or not Skip. Percy's gonna look at the librarian. Once again with his very weird, eye contact gaze, and is going to just kind of calmly say, I think I'm going to stay right here. This is where I need to be.
Lance is going to look at Percy again, like, if you're going to stay here, you need to at least give me a name, man. Give me something to work with here.
You can call me Percy.
Okay.
Well, that name seems to fit you.
So Percy.
Well, real quick, Sadie actually, you guys see her go, even more white, and she's like, how do you spell that?
What's the matter, Sadie?
Percy looks at her and is like, it doesn't matter. That's just my name.
An I or a Y? Do you remember how to spell your name?
I was like,
You have an I.
Yeah,
I
was
was
gonna say,
like,
think you spelled it with an
Percival
I.
has an I.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always spelt it Percy with the I at the end for Percival, but
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever actually wrote out Percy, but the I at the end worked. That's fine.
yeah.
So Percy stopped. Percy would not have written his name much. So
Yeah, wasn't he borderline illiterate?
Yeah.
I mean, he was basically like a homeless child living on the outskirts of town. So
Yeah.
yes,
So Ashley, who's now starting to panic and because this is so weird, turns to Sadie and she's like, "What are you saying?"
And who has the book?
I think it got left on the table.
Well, I think I plucked it out of Percy's hands, so I think it's still in my hands at this point.
And she kind of takes it out of your hands. At this point, I think the librarian's like, I'll be right back, and it's kind of rushing over to a phone to call security or something. And Sadie opens up the book and flips through there, and to the end of Cutter's Cabin's chapter, and it's just is your name Percival Flanagan?
yes.
You're in this book.
And Ashley whips her head around. She's like, "What?" And she doesn't grab the book out of Sadie's hands, but does that thing where you pull it over, so now they're both holding the book. And she reads it, and she looks up at Percy with just this sheer fear. Doesn't say anything, but just fear in her face.
And Percy looks at Sadie, and in response to her, it's just well, obviously.
And with that, we're going to end the episode. And start next episode with Sanity rolls. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening, for you guys playing, and we'll see you next time with more Godzilla talk.
Oh gosh.
Godzilla!
I cannot participate in that conversation.
We're eventually going to morph this into the Godzilla political podcast that everybody's been asking for.
Who are you going to vote for? Godzilla, King Ghidorah, or Mothra? Let us know your answers in the comments below. Anyway, see you next week. Bye.
Bye.